The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
All right, we're 9 minutes away from Summerfest tickets. 8 o'clock here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And before we get to this note from a Karen to their neighbor about their pet and what they want their pet to do, which is unbelievable. You will never guess it. Let's read a couple texts that just came through first about Kenzie's son Tristan's piano recital performance, which he killed it, 100%, nailed it. It was glorious. You'll hear it on the podcast if you want to go listen to it later on the show. But some text coming in, 779. Tell Tristan he has a nice left-hand dexterity in the bass clef. Not easy to do at his age. Keep up the good work.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds great.
His left hand was awesome.
That's what it means. He can kick my ass at something. I'm like, okay. Like, he would understand a text that I wouldn't. It's embarrassing. He's 10. I love this one. Tristan has a better chance of making the Smashing Pumpkins than Brian.
Facts. They already heard my stuff. Now maybe Billy heard it for the first time. He listens to the show.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to add a keyboard player in there. That'd be great.
Well, something.
Also, Letty checked in. Oh, that's sweet. It was Tristan's birthday. My son's birthday is today. Please help me wish him a huge birthday. Happy birthday.
I wish she said his name.
You?
Happy birthday to your son. Happy birthday to your son. Happy birthday to your special son. Hey.
Kenzie, when you worked at Famous Dave's, did they have a special birthday song?
No, and they specifically told us we couldn't sing happy birthday because we could get sued.
Yeah, because the copyright law for happy birthday, now it's public domain. Now you can sing happy birthday in a restaurant, but that's why all the restaurants have their own happy birthday song.
I don't know if the happy birthday guy died or something, but he must have been a real prick because restaurants were terrified of singing happy birthday. I don't know if he was doing pop-ups at restaurants and they're just suing families who owned them.
I think it was like a trio of sisters that owned the rights to happy birthday.
I'm like, settled. You didn't come up with the word. I mean, in fairness, you're kind of ripping off just the normal sentence.
So, for a minute, I thought Michael Jackson owned it at one point.
That'd be on brand.
Because he stole the idea from Paul McCartney to buy music, and he bought the Beatles catalog from him, and he went, ha!
That's right. I don't know if everybody knows that story.
I just did what you told me to do.
Exactly. I'm just learning what you did.
I just did what you told me to do.
It's just business. It's not personal. Anyway, Case, go ahead.
What were you saying?
I was just saying, I don't know if everybody knows that story where Paul McCartney told his friend Michael Jackson, like, hey, you should really invest in owning music. That's the best way to make money in the music industry. And Mike was like, yeah, what if I bought the Beatles catalog?
Right.
It really upset Paul McCartney.
And then...
We got to be careful what you share with people. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Don't share good ideas.
Yeah. I mean, listen, my friend is, I'm not going to say her name because it could start drama.
But
she is upset because this girl she doesn't like is moving into our neighborhood. And I go, yeah, but you told her how us in our neighborhood is. I would be like, God, we live in such a crappy, everyone's mean. I go, why would you tell someone how much you love where you live when you don't like that person?
Interesting. There's so many cicadas. It's brutal. Don't come here.
Oh, my God. There's trash all over the streets.
It's on fire every day, our neighborhood. On fire. All right, speaking of neighbors and neighborhoods, so this is it. Finally, we're getting here for you with the note that was left on a neighbor's door about their pet and what the other neighbor wanted them to do. So here's the note. I guarantee there's no way you could have guessed what was in this note. So here it is. The note says, hey, neighbor, can you please keep your cat out of the window? They are causing my dog to sit in the window and bark all day long looking at your cat. I work from home, so this is very difficult. Thanks. And they put their initial K on that for Karen. So they're upset that person put their cat sits in the window because their dog then sits in their window and barks at the cat in the other window.
Why don't they just get a curtain?
There's a lot of ways to resolve this problem. I don't know if anybody can relate to this.
That's insanity to tell somebody what they're doing inside their house that's not noisy or anything.
The cat is in the window. First off,
my dog's misbehaving and it's your cat's fault.
Yeah, but first off, good luck getting a cat out of a window or telling a cat what to do at all. They do what they want.
Yeah. My cat used to be invincible, even with the spray bottle. I swear to God, he flipped me off when I did. He didn't care. He just stayed right what he was doing.
What do you mean the spray bottle?
You spray cats with water bottles. They're doing something bad.
You do?
Yeah. Like little squirt bottles, like, hey, no, because they don't like that.
I didn't know that.
My cat just licked his lips. He's like, what up, bitch? Like, he didn't care. He didn't care at all.
He opened his mouth. I was just thirsty anyway.
He just like peed on more stuff because he was mad at me for doing that.
No way. I never heard that before.
Yeah, you little squirt bottle. No.
Are you sure you didn't invent that?
I swear to God, he's a little squirt
I
bottle.
would have scored him.
Yeah, because like we're not gonna like hit him. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
No, I don't.
Just a little squirt.
Okay.
I feel so bad for the next stray cat that Brian sees. He's just going to throw a bucket of water on him. And be
So
like,
mean.
I would
Kenzie
never do
Kenzie
that.
told me how to do this.
No, it's just like, listen, our cat ruined the entire house. I all I got was a little squirt bottle. Okay.
Hey, I like cats. I mean, I don't
I do
have
too.
one. I don't have a dog or a cat, but I like cats. Unlike a lot of people that say that stuff. And it's this cat sitting in the window. It's kind of peaceful when you see a cat sitting in a window, when you're a neighbor and look around. I'm sorry your dog's barking. I don't know if anybody's had that problem and they've ever thought about it and said, like, hey, your cat's bothering my dog just from looking
why
at
not
it.
Just close your curtains or blinds.
Because their dog doesn't like that, apparently, I guess. They'd probably say, well, he likes to look out the window.
Okay, well, so does the cat.
So does the cat. I mean, it's a standoff.
Yeah.
It's like the Old
And
West.
guess what? Like, the cat person wins because, like, well, my house is peaceful, so I really don't need a cave.
Yeah, the cat's
This
not.
is a really bad standoff for the other person. They got nothing. They're like, whatever.
My cat's meowing at your dog all day. It's so noisy. Cats aren't noisy. You know what I mean? They're just chill.
Yeah, they just piss on everything. That was the bummer in our house.
I guess they have those problems.
Yeah.
Why didn't they use the litter box?
We just kept buying more litter boxes because we thought he just didn't want to walk far. And we're like, well, I guess he just doesn't feel like using them. I don't know what to do anymore. He just ruined the whole house. We had to recarpet the entire house.
Okay.
My parents are like, we're going to get rid of the cat. And I'm like, no.
I don't think you realize how funny that statement is. That the cat didn't want to walk far inside a house.
He didn't like walking far. The cat, it was my cat. His name was Salvador. And he used to just, I swear to-
Salvador is awesome.
he used to not like even jump off of things. He would just lean until he fell. Because he wasn't willing to move. And then when I'd feed him, he'd lay on the ground and eat out of the side of it, like out of the side of his mouth.
I mean, this cat really didn't want to get steps in.
No.
I can't imagine looking across the room going like, that litter box all the way over there? Pfft, I can't go over there to poop. I can't do
We
that.
tried so hard.
Now, people are checking in here. Megan and 214 checked in. I got the same situation at my house. My neighbor walks her dog in my yard to go to the bathroom and gets mad that their dog barks at my cat, who's in my window. It's so annoying to walk your dog somewhere else. I mean, they're going in her yard to walk the dog, and then the dog barks and sees the cat.
Did this person respond?
There's no response on the note. Correct case on that
No,
one?
I'm not seeing a response
Yeah.
from the cat owner.
Yeah. And
It is ballsy because usually when you write something that
aggressive.
it's anonymous. We're like, this can't be anonymous. It's like your neighbor with the dog in the window.
Also, 847 checked in. We have a spray bottle with water and vinegar mixed. Cats hate that. Only use sparingly to do that.
Well, Kenzie, that was your problem. You just had the water, not the vinegar, so your cat still peed everywhere.
Well, I just feel like the vinegar could hurt his little eyes.
I would think so. Don't do that. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do, so don't listen on that
So
one.
I was very young when I had this cat. I was in 5th grade. I wanted an animal super bad because my parents wouldn't let me get a horse, which we addressed yesterday. So I got a cat.
I had mini horses. It felt good.
And you hated them. I hate you. Okay, anyways.
Isn't that funny? Just another funny statement.
We should get a
Case
spray
saying,
bottle for Case.
well, Case saying he had
Just pisses me off.
Case had many horses.
I
I
had
know.
4 of them.
Like he's a king.
At one point,
His fleet of horses.
I had 4 horses, 6 dogs, and 3 cats. That was the most pets we ever had at one time.
That sounds like a song.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. how
Will
many
you sing
things-
it, Kenzie? Will you sing that song?
Old
I-
MacDonald.
Had 17 horses, 4 dogs, 8 turtle doves. 2
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. This possibly is the funniest audio you've heard all week. And it involves something not funny, which was disgusting. The video that went viral last weekend of P. Diddy from, I think it was 8 years ago, 2016, of him assaulting his girlfriend. And you couldn't avoid it if you were on social media. It
was insane.
It polluted my timeline. It was disgusting.
Yes.
It was absolutely one of the worst things I've seen. And it keeps continuing the saga of what's going on with P. Diddy the last, 8 months or so. He's been under a lot of scrutiny of his abuse with women and other weird things that's gone down this path. And a lot of people in that community said they knew these things way back, and it just didn't get out, and now it's getting out because of source on social. You can post videos, and more evidence kind of gets out there before, authorities get it or goes to court. Stuff comes, sometimes it's the court of public opinion. And that one is a court case that's, done, guilty. Some things are questionable, but that's done, and, dude. What are you talking about?
You can't question the video. And he paid off. It was confirmed that he paid off the hotel about $50,000 to get the video.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, by the way, for what the video shows. You think he would have dropped $1 million to get rid of that video.
I'm sure he would have. Obviously, the negotiator didn't do
a good job.
But also, how awful. Okay, if you own a hotel, you're probably a nice enough hotel that P. Diddy wants to stay in. You're probably not struggling. And the fact that you're willing to take $50,000 and not release that and help somebody is people also need to be paying attention to that a little bit. Who took that? Because it's disgusting.
I agree. I mean, you see something, say something, and what you do, especially in something horrific like that, when it's a situation where the woman, he's in a position of power for her career, and in that situation,
and probably life. I mean, I saw so many comments under the video of people being like, "Well, she stayed. Well, she stayed." Well, first off, she was trying to leave. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah,
didn't really look like she was sitting there comfortably. Second, most people have never been in a relationship with somebody with that much money and that much power, and also is liked publicly that much. I mean, if he was willing to do that in the middle of a hallway, I don't think you could imagine what probably was happening to her or the threats she was receiving.
Yeah,
it's privately.
And sadly, people know that are listening right now about the situation. It doesn't even have to involve money or power.
Yes.
It's just you're in a relationship and you're stuck and you can't get out of an abusive situation.
People are scared for their lives in abusive situations. And I mean, obviously, it even levels up when somebody can do who even knows what, right? Yes.
And that's the serious information about this story. Now, here comes something we can actually have some fun with, is that the rapper Cameron was booked on CNN to talk about the situation with an anchor named Abby Phillip. And if you may not be familiar with Cameron, great rapper, my wife loves this song, Hey Ma.
Oh,
Hey
yeah.
Ma. When it kicks in. Even Case has his hand in the air.
I love Cameron.
Mr. Punk Rock over here's got his hand in the air.
When I die, I want people to think of my music taste as the Smiths and Oasis and Rise Against and also Cameron.
It's a good mix. It's okay. It's fine. We can all other things.
That's the fest I want to see, baby. Let's go.
That's next week's Fest, actually.
Hey.
We're creating that one. So that's Cameron. He was booked on CNN to talk about the Diddy situation. The audio that ensues is unbelievable because you may not be aware of him. He's a funny guy. And he's also been on a lot of news networks over the last 20 years. They go to him.
Which is unbelievable. I don't know why this keeps happening. He has proven time and time again he's not the ideal guest to book.
Yeah.
For us, he is. For everybody else, I don't know why they keep doing that.
He obviously has a huge following, and they think they're going to get clicks, but they don't understand he's rogue. He's not going along with what you want him to say, pretty much. That's kind of what I think they wanted to do here, was to put him in a situation where he says something, either bad about the community or maybe says something good about Diddy. He did not. He ripped Diddy and, of course, called the video disgusting like we just did. But then here's part of the audio of that CNN interview.
Is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't. But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is. Y'all make sure y'all check it out.
What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him.
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Yo, who booked me for this joint?
All right.
I don't be sitting
Cameron,
around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
thanks,
man, come on, man. This
thanks
is
for
crazy,
joining
man.
us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
So
I like that she calls him Cameron, by the way. That's such an underline. It's Cameron.
So Carlton, so in the beginning of the video, he drinks this thing called Pink Horsepower, which is a sex supplement, by the way, that he was drinking. He says, I'm going to get some cheeks later on. Mm-hmm. That's code for something.
What do you think?
I think it's...
He's not talking about squirrely cheeks, just full of cuteness.
Such a cute baby. And then he worked in a promotion for his podcast, which is actually amazing, by the way. And then said, like, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about Diddy. What do you?
I don't want to talk about Diddy.
And also earlier, I would point out that he did say everything was disgusting about that video and all that, but they thought somehow they were going to get some soundbite.
Inside information.
Or some soundbite of him saying, well, he's really a good guy, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. They thought
Or the opposite. They wanted an opinion. And I will say, who they should have booked 1,000% is 50 Cent. Because 50 Cent he is the one online saying everything about P. Diddy. I don't know. And then he just sold, called Diddy Do It, is going to be the name of the docuseries he's creating. And he sold it to Netflix. But you booked Cameron? Why didn't you call 50 Cent? It's
so amazing. And he's hilarious in most of his interviews. If you remember way back, he was on Bill O'Reilly. For some reason, all the news networks go to Cameron for...
I don't know what's happening.
For talk and stuff. And so here was Bill O'Reilly. I think this is about 20 years ago.
Yeah, just about.
Talking to him about the perception of hip-hop, like kids going to school. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there was a black principal on saying how he was actually kind of blaming hip-hop artists for the message they're sending the kids, and they're coming to school have to control them. But here's what Cameron said when Bill O'Reilly in the conversation was going on.
Hurt children.
How do you hurt children by promoting to be an entrepreneur and a CEO and to do right by?
Looking at a principle.
For example.
Hold it. You're looking at a principle.
Why you don't want to let him talk? You mad. Where'd you start? Current affair, right?
No, wrong.
Well, you're looking
I
got dirt on you, doggy.
Cameron,
I'm going to get at you in a minute.
You go ahead. You get at
I'm going to get at you in a minute.
It's a little jumbled in that one, but he goes, I got dirt on you. And he goes, it's a 10-minute interview where he talks to Bill O'Reilly as he was supposed to like kind of set him up.
Why is everyone calling him Cameron?
Cameron.
Well, I like that Bill O'Reilly says at the end of it, I'm going to get at you, Cameron. I've never heard him talk like that before.
Oh.
He brought something out in him.
But probably the funniest segment with Cameron on news networks was with Anderson Cooper. I think this was in 2017, an interview talking about snitching and how it's not cool. Cameron says, I will never snitch no matter what. I will never snitch. And here's how that interview went.
If there's a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told them?
If I knew the serial killer was living next door to me?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call and tell anybody on him, but I'll probably move, but I'm not going to call and be like, the serial killer's in 4E.
Listen, the moral of the story is, if you get kidnapped and Cameron is living next door, you are not going to get saved.
No, you're
which
not.
Sucks.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Early takeaway from Mitchell. Don't snitch, just move. That's what Cameron said to Anderson Cooper about 6-7 years ago in an interview about snitching.
If there's a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told them?
If I knew the serial killer was living next door to me?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call and tell anybody on him, but I'll probably move, but I'm not going to call and be like, the serial killer's in 4E.
Can you imagine calling the police? The serial killer, he's in 4E.
You guys got to get here. You won't believe it.
He's just down the hall from me, man. Come get him. Oh, man, it's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and some lighter news out there that this is very shocking because we've talked a lot about Red Lobster. They've closed locations in the Chicagoland area. 2 locations have closed in Northwest Burbs because they've gone bankrupt because of their endless shrimp promotion. And I think a lot of people always think when they do something like that, they've got all this money. They get the shrimp for a penny, and it can't hurt them. Well, they lost about $5 million, I think, on the endless shrimp promotion, and they were already probably trending a bad direction, and then that just put them over the edge to file for bankruptcy. So
they didn't realize it was going to be like a challenge accepted type of promotion. They just thought if you're still a little hungry, you could get some more. And
this is what's interesting about that, Kenzie, because Buffalo Wild Wings now has jumped in and just announced Monday and Wednesdays, dine-in only, all-you-can-eat boneless wings and fries for $19.99. Oh. And they put the post up and they said, please don't bankrupt us, with the prayer emoji. So they're trying to take a shot at Red Lobster. But at the same time, I had to think about this because boneless wings you can eat them quicker because the bone takes a little time and effort to eat the chicken off of it.
Uh-huh.
It's like a workout that way.
Yeah, you'll burn a few calories eating wings. But boneless wings, I'm trying to think of how many I could eat in a sit-down session because I've already made clear One time, my biggest total with two buddies, we ate 150 wings. Big ones with bone-in wings.
Well, bone-in are more expensive, though.
That's right. That's why they say they're doing this. I'm just worried about Buffalo Wild Wings. They have enough money to keep going and do this. I don't want them to follow the same path. I mean, 1999, all you can eat boneless wings. Could I eat like 30 boneless wings?
I don't know why you're asking me. I don't know how to help you.
Do you think I can the way you've seen me eat?
I think you could eat a lot more than 30. But then you're going to call it, then you're going to be like, well, my feelings are hurt. So I don't know what to do with you.
If I can't do 30?
No, I think you're going to be like, watch Kenzie. I'm way for thin.
Case, how many you think you could eat?
If you could do 30, you think you could do 30?
I think if I was hungry, if I made a plan not to eat lunch that day, maybe ate like an English muffin for breakfast only to get me going, and I have
one
the
of
whole
those
day.
English McMuffins, I know about those.
Yeah, the English McMuffins, yeah.
If I had to put money down, I would say you'd eat like 65 wings.
Me or Case?
You.
Really? That's a lot, because the boneless wings have more meat on them than actually the bone-in wings. 65. I'm glad your confidence in me is nice. I like it.
Yeah, I'm very confident in you. That's what we're going to call it. It's confidence.
Here's the thing. If Brian can eat 30, if I'm allowed to take my shirt off in the restaurant, I think I could get to 40. Because you have to factor in at around 20 wings, regardless of temperature, your body is going to start sweating. Your body's not used to having that amount of pressure and that amount of food in your system. You're going to start sweating. But if I can...
Can we just put a fan up?
No.
Yeah, we can put a fan up.
I have to get naked in Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ugh.
If I can do that, I can get to 40.
God.
I fully 100% believe that in my heart of hearts.
You can't even pee in a public bathroom. You're getting naked in Buffalo Wild Wings.
Well, I didn't think about it that way, Kenzie.
Yeah, I did. That's a good point. Here's the thing. You also got to ignore the fries. Because just get the chicken. If you get wings and fries, unlimited, all you can eat.
That's what they're going to get you. They're going to make their money back if you get full.
Yeah.
Because potatoes are filling.
If you eat one serving of fries, you're eating about just 15 probably wings at most. That's all you're going to get.
It's going to take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
They're really going to try to slap you in the face with the fries.
And their fries are good, too, there.
See, look, 'cause you already failed.
I've already.
Your fat ass. You couldn't even. You just said it was a bad idea. And then you're like, well, some fries cut doesn't sound good. You just talked your own self out of your idea.
God. I mean, I want to also mix up the flavors. I want garlic parm to start.
Can you mix up the flavors?
I don't know.
I bet you can.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Wild Wings, very generous restaurant. They, in my experiences, they will listen to you and the things you ask for.
Huh. Well, there you go.
I've only had good experiences there. Some of the happiest nights of my life.
I haven't been to one in a while, so I'm ready to go.
Do you remember do they still have the challenge?
What's the challenge?
The challenge used to be like the really, really hot, like their ultimate wings. You have to eat it in like a few minutes without drinking. Do you remember when Buffalo Wild Wings first came out, they had a hot wing eating
The Blazing Challenge?
Yes.
Okay.
What are the rules? You obviously just looked it up.
I just looked it up. The Blazing Challenge rules. It's a lot of rules. Challenge.
Well, how about you name one of them?
Well, there's all this legal verbiage in here. I can't even get to the challenge.
Eating.
Yeah.
Okay, Blazing. I'll look it up.
Yeah, maybe you can read better than I can because it's all this legal stuff first about like, if you die, we're not responsible.
Does it really say that?
The Blazing Challenge at Buffalo Wild Wings requires participants to eat 10 Blazing knockout wings in 5 minutes or less without using any water, food, condiments, or napkins.
Okay.
Participants must also remove all wing meat from the bone with their mouth only, and they cannot vomit or regurgitate during the challenge. Bathroom breaks are not permitted.
Okay.
I remember that challenge. It was like a huge thing when I was in high school. Like anytime you went with a group of friends, someone would do the Blazing Challenge. Case would actually die.
And what's the prize?
I don't know. I think they're just like free.
Oh, no. The prize consists of 1,000 Blazing Rewards points and the winner's name on select TV screens at varying times throughout the day at Buffalo Wild Wings internal network.
Well, you have to pay for the wings still, huh?
And you get, so you're on the Blazing Challenge Wall of Fame on their page, too.
Wow.
And
what an honor.
Well, my parents would be so proud.
Well, I don't know what the 1,000 Blazing Rewards points get you. Maybe that gets you a whole bunch of new wings and stuff. I don't
think
know.
it gets you merch. They sell merch.
Okay.
Yeah, so get you merch. 5 minutes, no drinks, no excuse. Yeah, here's BuffaloWildWings.com. Take the challenge. 10 wings, 5 minutes, no drinks, no excuses.
I like it.
Case would have so many excuses if he did this.
Just so you know, Case
is like a pile of excuses.
Well, he gets hot and sweaty like looking at him. He like hot things like he looks at a jalapeno and he starts sweating out and turns red.
I know he gets all hyper talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling Kenzie this earlier. Last week at Subway, I went and I got sriracha on my sandwich, and I thought it was going to kill me. I felt my throat closing up at home. I thought I was going to die alone by eating a Subway sandwich. It was the hottest thing I've ever had. It was awful.
Oh, boy. Shane said he tried that in college, that what you're talking about, Kenzie,
Yes.
the challenge, and he only got to the third wing, and that was it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Well, do they still have it? I feel like I've never gone to a Buffalo Wild Wings. It's been years.
It's been a minute.
And to see someone do the challenge, they like ring a bell and stuff.
I used to love going to the one on Lincoln that was like a bar. It was like an old school. That was when it was called still BW3, Buffalo Wild Wings and WEC. That's what it used to be called.
What?
What was
Yeah.
the whack?
WEC
What's WEC mean?
WEC is a meat. It's a spicy meat that in Buffalo with the wings where they started, they also had WEC, and it's like on a sandwich. So you put this spicy meat on a sandwich.
It was called Buffalo Wild Wings and WEC?
Well, it was called BW3, and then that's what it stood for. And then they figured that people didn't really understand BW3, so they just went with Buffalo Wild Wings because people know what wings are,
Oh my
and not
God.
WEC, which we just made clear here right now.
Wow.
No one knows what WEC is.
Obviously.
It must not have sold a lot of WEC either.
I wouldn't order that. That sounds terrifying.
The WEC is the original title, refers to the beef on WEC sandwich served at the restaurant, and yeah. they got rid of it.
Okay. Well, I think that Brian should have to do the Blazing Challenge and Case.
I would do it. I'm in. You Case?
Case.
I'm sorry. I just got a breaking news phone call we'll talk about after the commercial break here. What was the question?
I want you to do the Blazing Challenge.
Oh, no, it'll kill me. I would like to live a long life.
But it would be kind of funny.
I don't know. I don't think it would.
What's the breaking news thing?
There's a SWAT standoff at the Elmhurst Portillo's right now.
What?
Whoa.
I
Called
know.
you SWAT?
No. Actually, Double Features Mike called me to tell me.
Is he there?
He lives in Indiana.
He's trying to get his cake shake.
God.
Don't yell at me. I just found out. I haven't Googled it yet.
Okay, well, we'll
make
check
sure
on
it's
it.
real. What if he just prank called you and you said it on the radio?
No, it is. I'm looking at WGN just reported
Now
it, too.
we're going to get the fakest calls that we say on the radio all the time.
It's real. WGN just reported it.
Okay,
Oh
well,
my
well, I
God.
hope everybody's okay. Be careful. I don't know what to do, but that's terrible.
I know. Sorry. I'm
No.
sorry. I didn't hear with the Blazing Challenge info.
Yeah.
Well, now
Yeah.
now
it's-
there's a totally different challenge at Portillo's.
that's right. Terrible. Oh.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.